Thank you all for another episode of His Wife, Her Husband,
I am Shamika, his wife,
and I am Patrick, her husband. Our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your
from
marriage.
a biblical perspective. Take it away, Shamika.
Our topic for this episode is about taking care of your
I
marriage.
thought we just did that.
That is how to safeguard your marriage. This one is how to take care of it.
Okay.
Now, mind you, the safeguarding is a way to take care of it, but this is like specifically what you need to do to take care of your, like giving it that intentional attention, is what I'm saying. The other things that we did was those were ways to safeguard it, to protect it.
We'll just take care, right?
I guess it could be. Well, anyway, part two then, because I wrote something down. Maybe the topic I could have been a little bit more creative, and maybe I may come up with something during this episode. Meanwhile, what I am asking you to do is to see the value in your marriage.
Take care of your marriage.
Take care of it. When you take care of something, you deem it valuable,
You
and
nurture it.
you nurture it. You give it nourishment.
Hmm.
You protect it. You do whatever needs to be done to make sure and ensure that you preserve it. You
Hmm.
value it.
Hmm.
And what like when you value something, it has a greater worth than it to anyone else. Other people may not see its value or its worth. Why? Because it's not theirs.
Hmm.
And they don't have any memory or experience or event or an emotion attached to it. But when it comes to your marriage, I'm asking you to go back to see the value. Remember why you said yes to your spouse. Remember how you felt.
Wait, one more time
Remember
out. Hold on,
what
hold on,
you
hold on, time out.
experienced.
Go ahead.
Oh God! Remember what you experienced when you were
You don't know how to
engaged.
have a
I
conversation.
don't engaged, and when you first got married. Like it was like, oh, like when they came, they had their own theme music. Dun 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 dun. I mean, I don't know. I just came up with it. Dun, dun. Okay. Anyway, you just had a theme song, or
Fred is dead.
that's the song.
That's what I said.
I never knew the words.
Go ahead.
Never knew the words, Patrick. But my point is, you have this theme song. You have you have some affection
Okay.
or affinity attached to
You
it.
said go back to the reason why
You said
you
yes
said yes.
to your spouse.
Okay, keep going.
And I am aware that a lot of times in marriages, people say yes for because of financial status or for fame or whatever the case may be. Like we have all different reasons, but this is the thing that you need to revisit because at the end of the day, usually with most marriages, it is because this person uh, this was the completion of you. Like they added on to you. They were the extra 100 to your 100. And the truth of the matter is they may have found you at a 85, but they made you feel like that it was going to be easy to get that other 15.
So when you're saying take care of your marriage, we're talking to like what audience are we addressing when you thought of the topic?
Mhm.
What type of audience was it? Someone who because the statement was remember why you said yes.
Mhm.
Is the audience someone who has fallen away
Mhm.
and they're struggling in the marriage, or we are, or it's the couple they're good and we're saying remember why you said yes to so remembering why you said yes to your spouse to marry them, remember that and safeguard that so that you can hold on to that, or like, is that, am I making myself clear?
Mm-mm. But I
She
will.
said,
You did.
I know.
Like I know, like in seeing the value, like it's for the person that may be going through in their marriage, and maybe they just lost sight of what was valuable to them.
Hmm.
And so I'm asking you to go back and to reevaluate the worth, the value that you and your spouse have in your marriage.
Hmm.
Then again, you may be at a place, this episode may find you where you all are in a good place. But then you never just stopped and considered that, hey,
Mhm.
my marriage has value.
Mhm.
It doesn't have value just to
Ooh,
me
ooh.
and my
Mhm.
spouse, but
Gotcha.
it's bringing value to generations. It's bringing value to our children. It's bringing value to our family, our community, and ultimately, it has great value in giving glory to the Lord God.
So one could be, yes, we're saying take care of your marriage. In other words, what is it called? Preventive care.
Hmm.
So if you're in a good place and if you're in a good place, we want you to begin to use preventive care so the marriage won't get ill or the marriage won't get sick. So remember the good things about the like I said why because whatever that is, remember that and safeguard that. And what did you do? Because if you're 10, 15 years into it, like what did I do then that made marriage fun, that made marriage lovely, that made
Enjoyable.
marriage so we're in a good space. Like we're not having problems. Okay, cool. How do I take what did I say? Pre-care? That's not
Preventive.
preventive care to make sure we don't get into that particular thing.
Hmm.
Then for those of you who are like we're not on the verge of divorce, but we are going through some rough patches right now. You know what I'm saying? You okay, go back to the reason why you said yes and begin to if you believe your marriage is in need of coaching, Shamika and I are certified marriage and life coaches. Just log into our website, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, to book your discovery call.
Wives, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put his wife in the notes section.
Husbands, if you are looking for one on one coaching, put her husband in the notes section.
Husbands and wives, if you are looking for marriage coaching as a couple, put his wife, her husband in the notes section.
Remember, our purpose is to help you build
And sustain your marriage.
from a biblical perspective.
So go on over to www.hiswifeherhusband.net to schedule your discovery call today.
Implement the things you used to do to get the care back. So, if you start missing it, like I had to go to the dentist and get work done on my mouth. And so there are things I have to do now to get it back. Then there are also some things that I have to do so it won't get worse. So whatever that thing is, now you've gone through the surgery, blah, 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 blah. Hey, let's start doing some stuff so we can get you back on track to make sure that you don't go through this again.
It's called recovery.
Okay.
That's recovery work. And there are degrees. I'm pretty sure that there may be a nurse or a doctor that's listening. And so, they can attest or vouch that there are different forms of care. Sometimes there is immediate care, there is intensive care, there is wound care. Like it's
Hmm.
different types of specialty
Hmm.
cares that may be needed physically. And so that thing applies even in relationship. You may find this word coming to you where you may need some intensive care. You may find it where this is urgent care. This need to be addressed right now. The main thing is that you are to give in specific and intentional attention to making sure that you nourish and nurture well. You give detailed affection and attention to this area to
Mm-hmm.
your marriage. And so I did write down when you see in the value of it, when you see the value of something, that means that it is now a treasure. And where you treasure something, you protect it. You
Mm-hmm.
do your part to make sure you preserve it. Why? So it can be passed down to maybe to your let's say if it's a ring, I'm thinking about gold or like an actual gold treasure. But you want to make sure that you preserve it and protect it so that it can be passed down to your son or your daughter that you know will care well and continue to preserve and protect it, and they see it as the treasure. So don't think that your marriage is not a treasure, because that legacy of loving the Lord and loving your spouse, your children are witnessing that. And that's how we
Mhm.
continue to
Mhm.
preserve the faith fabric of uh, of the faith of what God has intended and planned for the institution of marriage to do, which is to minister and to serve to the home as well as to the community at large, to the church.
Mhm.
It's a visible sign that love works, that serving works, that sacrifice, it works, it pays out, and it pays off, it really does. So just remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be a nice. I think that's a great assessment, like
Mm-hmm.
to do the assessment of your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Where is your marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Is your marriage in the ER?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in um,
Intensive care.
intensive care? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where do you find your marriage? And wherever you find your marriage, that's the type, because it is, if you're in a burn unit, then
Mm-hmm.
that takes a different type of care to to um,
Bring about the
to bring
healing
it
and
back to healing
recovery.
and bring
Yeah.
back the color and the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of care. If it's an ER, that's a different type of care. If it's, after you've gotten out and now you're doing uh, what's the thing when you lose mobility?
Therapy.
Therapy. Like, that's a different. So I think the great thing would be to assess where your marriage is,
Mm-hmm.
and then begin to make, and I'm repeating myself, but begin to make the necessary adjustments so that you can have the best possibility for healing of your marriage.
And so the thing that come to my mind is going back to what we say, to help you build and sustain. And one of those ways to build is to assess where you are, and wherever you are, guess what? We begin to build from there, and to be able to experience the wholeness, to sustain. That's the therapy. That means you continue to do the work that needs to be done. That you can
Mm.
continue to have this. This is not a one-time event.
Mm-hmm.
Me doing this, like, this is something that I want to do over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It's my pleasure to do this
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. Like, I don't get tired of
Mm-hmm.
showing up for the Lord. I don't get tired of showing up for you. And I know that when I do this to you, then guess what? I'm seeing about me.
That's where we come in at.
Mhm.
As marriage coaches,
Mhm.
you've already gone through the intensive care. That's your counselor. I mean, this event just happened. It's hurt our marriage. I think
It's
we're in
rocked us
trouble.
to the core. Yeah.
I don't know what I'll do. I need You need counseling. Then finally, once you get out of the intensive care, once you get out of, IC, it's the same thing. In
Mhm.
ICU, once you get out of the, you go to the room.
The
Now the
recovery.
recovery room.
That's
Now
recovery.
you got to go through the therapy to get back to get your muscle working back together again. That's where coaches come in, and then that's where we come in to help guide you, or to give you a list of to do to help you win in the marriage
To
moving forward.
be and to do.
Yeah, to be
Mhm.
and to do. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
good.
It's to be and to do. And again, the coach is only here. We are only here to encourage you to bring out what's already in you.
Hmm.
We are not putting something there. This is not something that, some hocus pocus stuff. This is stuff that you are already equipped to do, because if you say it, I do, then guess what? It has to get done.
Yes.
It did not say, let me see, when we say our marriage vows, say, I do. That means I do the work. Like,
Yeah.
that do is an action word.
Hmm.
Now, because I'm your bride. Like, one of the things that I always say is that I'm Patrick's forever bride, and I am his wife. And so I am his bride, and I am his wife, and that means that I have to do the work of being and doing, grabbing his attention, holding his attention, making sure that I'm doing the things that will that's pleasing to him.
Hmm.
Amen. And then by the same token, also doing whatever needs to be done, as far as making sure I'm constantly developing into the woman that God created me to be, because that's really what a real husband is attracted to, the godly wife. Even if he not there, he still want a godly wife. I'm telling
Okay.
you. Mhm.
So here's the thing about, because you mentioned caring for your marriage. Let me Do you have something else
I
in
have two
turn
more things, but not pertaining
to
to.
caring for your marriage?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead. Cause well, I'll go and say mine.
Mhm.
So one of the things I think is beneficial for caring for your marriage is one, caring for yourself. Do you already have that on there?
No.
Okay. Caring for yourself. Because if I'm strong enough, if I am mentally strong enough, if I am spiritually strong enough, if I'm emotionally strong enough, then it allows me to be able to have the strength to take care of you. My dad, my mom had multiple sclerosis, and my dad, I don't think he did a good job of taking care of himself to the point that he died before my mom. Now,
Mhm.
my mom needed all of the care, and so the caregiver, a lot of times the caregiver finds themselves so exhausted and stressed out about taking care of the other person that they don't take the time to care for themselves. So again, to reiterate, if you really want to take care of your marriage, you cannot neglect taking care of yourself. I am not talking about having whatever body you think you're supposed to have, a P90X body. I don't know. Did it still say P90X?
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not talking about, I'm saying, but I do need to find myself walking 2 miles a day. Even if you're
Exercising.
walking,
Yeah.
exercising, if you're walking in place for 30 minutes, that needs to be done. I do need to find myself drinking plenty of water, Patrick. I do need to find myself getting plenty of rest. I do need to find myself taking 15 to 30 minutes of mental rest just to not have everything. Like I do need to find myself eating an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And anyway, I like those things.
Proper
Take
portions
care.
and
Yeah, proper portion. Those things are
vitamins.
just. We're not talking about going to the gym and like, like well, I don't know whatever this is, but we're just saying, taking care of your spiritual, getting in my word and getting in prayer before God regularly, so that I can have the fortitude to care for the marriage, because there are gonna be ebbs and flows.
That is called life.
It's gonna happen.
Whether you are in the Lord or out of the Lord.
Time and chance happen to us all.
To all. Yeah.
So since it's going to happen, I need to take care of myself. I always talk about in Matthew 22 when it talks about love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Well, we keep forgetting the part myself. So I can love once I really really learn get this spiritual love with God. It's gonna help me love myself so that I can properly love my neighbor, or in this case, my spouse. God, myself, my spouse. If you work it that way, I think it'll. I just believe it'll work itself out
It's
over
proper
time.
order and proper flow.
Right.
Yeah, amen. Thank you for bringing that up. That is so true. And I think that even, again, going back to we living in a society where self-care has been like really
Demonized by the church. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say demonized by the church, but I was gonna say that it's like self care is more so pictured as like getting your nails done, getting your hair done, shopping therapy. I'm thinking about as far as women. I'm not sure what men do, but something self care, true self care, like I'll say the basic self care is proper rest.
Mm,
It's eating well. It's getting the exercise. Like that's really true self care.
mm-hmm.
I mean, just basic things. It's like, not putting things in your body that will harm it.
That's good.
That's true self care. Like if all the malls were burned down, if Sheen stopped taking orders, right? If there were
Yeah.
no more restaurants to visit for you to treat yourself to indulge in,
Mm-hmm.
then the self care then go out.
Mm,
No, this is like just making sure you brush your teeth at night, making
mm,
sure you cleanse and shampoo your hair, making sure that you do the healthy things
mm,
to bring healing to your body. And there's something about healing. Once healing come, guess what? Wholeness come.
mm.
Before you know it, you'll be a complete person. You'll be full and complete.
Yeah.
And you won't need a whole lot of outward things to validate or to give you this false sense of security of you being a 10, I guess. I don't know, I just threw something out there, but like a 10 is like, oh, you're 100. But yeah, no. You so funny, Patrick. But you know, I'm so that is so true. So then the other thing, is it okay for me to go, or we need to
Nah,
stop?
go ahead.
Okay. So then, another way that you can take care of your marriage is by making daily deposits of creativity, of showing love, kindness, and respect. So in my mind, this is how I was seeing it when I was writing the topics down. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, writing the points down. So we have taken care of your marriage. Then I was thinking treasure, talent, and time. You know, you will invest these things
Mm-hmm.
to caring for your
Mm-hmm.
marriage. The treasure, because I treasure it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I will invest my talents to it. So now, what I may be good at, for example, I'm good at baking. So then I should be baking maybe Patrick's favorite dish. Or I'm good at encouraging. I should
It's a
be
no bake.
encouraging him, right?
Mm.
So it's these things that you want to make sure that you bring your best self into the marriage. Don't try to be Sally next door. What he do want you to be is his wife in the house. Like, can you just show up your the best version of yourself? Here, I'm also good at cleaning. Guess what? It's not always that I enjoy doing it, even though it's therapy for me. But I will say that this is how I can best serve my home is by making sure that it is decent, that it's decent and in order. This is a service. This is something that I'm naturally good at that I can do to bring or to give care to our marriage.
So when you said treasure, I in my mind I'm thinking the way we talk in I think in church. We're talking about your time, your talent, and your treasure.
Mhm.
In other words, when you say investing, I was thinking you're thinking finances.
Mhm.
Like it's okay to invest your treasure or your money into your marriage. It's okay to invest your time into your marriage. It's okay to invest your talent, like whatever you're good at doing, invest it into your marriage. Um, I- I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna be petty right quick. So you said so anyway. Yeah, am I? Yeah. So here's the advice I always give women. I don't know if there's advice like that for men. Maybe it's if it is, ladies type it in the thing. But it was we always say I always say make sure you do all the things that the other woman would do within reason. You know what I'm saying? But you want to be the wife and the side boo. You, wives be his wife and his side boo at the same time, and then therefore he unless he just whatever he didn't have any reason to look for anything. Now, you can't. At the end of the day, he has to make that decision. We understand that, but but we're but do all that you can to make sure you cover again. Y'all been rocking with us for a minute. You know, I always talk about when I used to shoot dice and somebody tried to do a side bet. I'm covering my own side bet. Like my 8 is my point, but I'll 10 and 4 before I 7 and 11 too. But like I'm gonna do my own thing on the side. I'm covering the side bet. So cover your side bets, whatever that is that your husband likes. If sometime he just want to sit and just watch the game, and the side boo might just sit and watch the Dallas Cowboys. Like, do that. You know, somebody was like, ain't nobody watching Cowboys. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just, I think that's part of the
Being
time.
present, just
Yeah,
be
just being present
present. Like you
sometime.
don't always have to, fix it. And I hope that you caught when I was sharing about being a bride and a wife. A bride is just, oh my goodness, she just adds life to him, and she's not so busy with the duties, right,
Mm,
of being a wife. She just his friend. She's just a person to be enjoyed. And so going back to what you said, sometimes it's just sit and watch the game, even though the house is a mess, or because things are
Mm-hmm.
not like you would want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he or she is there, that helps you to just enjoy one another.
Hold on before you
Excuse.
go. Hold on before you go. Then here's for the guys. I thought something for the guys to be the other guy. Don't try to fix it every time. Sometimes she just want to talk, and she don't want a solution. She want to tell you about why Keisha took a stapler and she don't understand, and she want to go off and boom, 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 and she ought to send an email to HR. Like, don't fix it. That's being the other guy because the other guy who's trying to get in, he's just listening. For
He's
real?
emotionally and mentally
Wow.
present.
She did that. Mm,
Yep.
okay. How you feel? Like, and he's not. So for guys, that's being the other guy. Go ahead.
I like that's true. A lot of times we do have a tendency to to lean towards what
Other woman.
the woman should do,
Uh,
but we never ever we very rarely address
I've never done it.
what the man should do,
Right.
and that's so true because where the enemy uses a woman to capture the man's attention with his eyes,
Mm-hmm.
know that, as you always say, conversation rules the nation.
Right.
And so know that if she has leaned her ear in, 9 times out of 10,
Mm.
this is where they get a hold of them emotions, and it be
Mm-hmm.
emotional ties, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
we never had sex, we never did this, but it's like, well, then how you looking though? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
glow too much
Mm-hmm.
when,
Every time you say his name,
yeah,
and me and Daryl, or me and Kenny, or me and Keith. Oh, he's like,
yeah,
whoa, time
yeah,
out, player.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I got another one for the men.
Mhm.
This one was a hard one. Maybe I should say that. This one was a difficult one.
Hilarious.
This real talk.
Mhm.
Cause my wife say this, and she's anyway. Hold them without wanting some.
Yeah.
I don't know either, player, but for some reason, that's big, and that's what, you know what I'm saying. The other, like, no, what I'm saying, like, her work husband, he would probably just hold her hand. Of course, we know he wants some, but at that point, she thinking he doesn't want anything, or he's just there, or it'll be okay, Keisha, it'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? And he's just, and so for us as husbands, we get home and we just embrace them and not want anything, and then eventually still. But the
See
point
that, because I
is,
was getting ready to say no, and
I'm
don't
showing you that I just wanna.
hold you.
You had a
Yeah,
bad day,
I want to
and
be
I had a
present.
bad day, and I just. And so we got to, like, yeah, but all you got to do is just, you know, hit Keisha in the mouth a couple of times. You know what I'm saying?
Mercy,
I don't know.
violence
It's
is
not.
not the key.
No, it's
But
not.
no, but yeah, but I like how you said that very well.
Okay,
I forgot. Okay, but then the other thing too. This is my last point after this. Going back to when you said investing time. You said that you didn't. I forget. Anyway, we said invest in time,
Gotcha.
and so that invest in time means to slow down and enjoy each other.
Hmm.
Like, I know that it is a lot of like, we have a lot of ambitions and goals, things we want to
Hmm.
accomplish as a couple. Um, However, do not let the busyness and the rush of life in the day rob you from that quality time.
Hmm.
And that's that I would like to end there, that that's the other type of care that is very needed, is quality care.
Mm. That's good. I like that one.
Quality care. So you may not
That's good.
have the finances to go out on this big extravagant date,
Yeah.
but it's something about sharing a milkshake on a winter's night,
That's dope.
walking down the river walk, and you're
Hmm.
freezing, and you all are holding each other.
Hmm.
And that's a memory that will go into your marriage bank. That's that deposit that you make.
That's good.
That, I mean, when the cares of life come at you,
Yeah.
then guess what? You can withdraw, because guess what? I remember when we leaned in.
Yeah.
So don't fail to give your marriage the quality care that it's so need that is needed. And because I'm thinking about the song that say, "Let all acquaintance be forgotten." I think that's how the New Year's song. But it's like, let all that stuff, whatever you neglected to do in 2023, it's a new day. And I want you to wake up every single day in 2024 seeing it as a new start, a fresh start, to serve God fresh, to serve your spouse fresh, and just enjoy each other. Slow down and smell the roses. Slow down to just take a look at the wildflowers, the lilies. Stop and consider. And then that way, guess what? These worries and cares that try to trouble our soul, like you'll be so content and so at peace with your spouse, because you're so in love and you're so contented, that it's not saying that you don't recognize that they are attractive or look good,
Hmm.
but we done made so many deposits, and my intention is here. I would not be swayed by whatever it is you're trying to bring my way.
Correct.
So each and every day, I'm waking up knowing that this is another opportunity
Hmm.
for me to serve my spouse in a better way.
Yeah.
It's another day for me to glorify God in my role as a woman, as a wife, if you're a man, as a man, or a husband, a father, a mother. Like, I want to leave this place good. I want
Hmm.
to experience the best. And so the way how we do that is by investing the time, putting the time in, taking
The
the time
time
out
out to
to
put the
put the
time
time
in.
in.
Yeah.
Even if it's sharing a milkshake, I'm telling
Yeah.
y'all, it makes a difference.
Yeah. Yep. So if you find value in the video today, make sure you give us a thumbs up, hit the like button, make sure you comment, share, and hit the bell notification so when we drop new videos, you'll be the first one to get those. We thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Take care. Bye.